Here it is. It's Friday night. It's 6:30 in Brisbane. It's 7:30 in Sydney. It is the moment that the entire RC community in Australia has been waiting for all week long. My name's Scott. I'm from Action RC. You do some media stuff, all of that. We're interested in storytelling. I've got to say, and we'll get to our guest in a moment, I'm not normally into the kind of silly season stuff, but this is a story. In fact, this whole summer in Australia, there's been some huge changes. We'll run through those in a moment. But the story we are here to deal with tonight is the story that belongs to this man, the man on screen, Mr. Peter Seckold. Peter, I mean, firstly, welcome. How you doing?
Good yourself, Scott. Thanks for having me. It's definitely been an interesting couple of weeks.
I bet it has, and we'll come back to that. But I want to set the scene for folks before we kind of dig into what the last really 6 weeks has been like for you, Pete. Wherever you are around Australia and New Zealand, I know we've got some Kiwi friends kind of online as well. Glad to have you joining us. It is the moment we've all been waiting for. There's so much has happened, particularly in the off-road scene in Australia in the last few weeks. And I want to run through just a couple of these things to put in context just how big this Peter Seckold story is, because this is the man we've chosen for this Friday night, not any of these other stories. Christian Waller kicked it all off. He moved from S-Works over to Kyosho in the 8-scale side. Jaden Edmonds in 8 scales out at Mayako, still continuing with Schumacher in 10th. Caleb Noble, another big name, out at Techno. We're not sure yet where he's going. Maybe we'll try and get him on the show. Not as big a name as Seckold, but still Noble, one to watch. And then a couple of moves within the 10-scale scene in particular. Chris Sturdy, Jared Ment moving from AE to Schumacher. I think there's some other moves around that are yet to be announced, some little bits and pieces. There's tyre changes. Alex Benadzik going from J Concepts to Hot Race. Jaden Edmonds going from Hot Race to J Concepts. Peter Seckold going to J Concepts. We're not even really talking about that tonight, but nothing has captured the imagination quite like the will he or won't he saga of this man, Sydney's Peter Seckold. We're here tonight, Peter, because more than a month ago now, you said you were moving on from the long-time home of Team X-Ray. That's where you've been for a long time. 3rd of December, you made that announcement. This week you've put pen to paper, and we'll get to that. But firstly, I mean, tell me about the last 6 weeks. What's it been like? What happened on the 3rd of December? Did the phone run hot when you made that announcement?
Yeah, I think within 10 minutes, I had 10 people trying to call me. I had messages from about 30 people going, never thought you'd see the day. So I think definitely caught a few people by surprise. But, it's been interesting few weeks having the option to test cars. I haven't driven any other car for probably 7 or 8 years now. So, it's a bit of a change for me.
So how many different brand cars did you test, mate, over the last month or so? Or, were there some sneaky private test sessions, or was it just, just let me have a drive of your car? And
what's been going on? Of both, probably 5 or 6 in total.
Different 5 or 6 different brands. Okay.
Yeah. So between 10 scale and 8 scale, because obviously I do both, tested a few different cars. There's definitely club days where I've
give me the list.
You want all the juicy details.
I want all the details. We're not messing around here.
I guess Techno, Mugen, Associated, S-Works, Mayako, drove PR Racing Buggy in 10 scale. I can't think if there's anything else there, but it's the ones I remember at least. And yeah, everything from standing next to the stand or standing next to Scott Studdett at Maitland.
Okay.
He was driving his buggy around. I just said, give me the radio. And he didn't hesitate, which was good. So I also got to burn his truggy around the track, which was good fun. He took the radio off me after I was going faster than he was, but
Yeah. What'd you learn driving all those different cars?
It was interesting to drive all different cars and kind of get similar feeling from a few of them. Obviously I'm used to the way the X-Ray car drives, so driving even the same pivot ball cars, different cars have different characteristics, and finding cars had more steering, they had more rotation, they had less grip, that sort of thing. It was an eye-opening experience trying to work out what would best suit.
Oh, I've got error messages. We won't worry about the error messages. Was the test driving critical in the final decision that you've reached only in the last couple of days? Like, did that kind of you drove some cars and went, oh, I really want to go that way. That doesn't really suit me, or was it more about the cash, more about the money?
Definitely more about the car. Like
Yeah.
I've been so used to the way one car drives, I don't want to just change everything for the sake of it and go backwards. I'd rather find a car that suits me, does what I want it to do. And I spoke to quite a few people about their cars. I've driven a few of their cars now as well.
Yep.
So yeah, it's been an interesting experience for sure. Trying to get my head around the way different cars work, and just being able to spend some time on the track with a few people who know what those cars drive like, how they would set them up, and go through various setup changes.
Now, when you kicked all this off, did you have any idea what you're unleashing? The public interest, the public pursuit of your signature. I mean, that, Michael Sneddon has been relentless in, trying to, putting out the man of 1,000 memes, I think we could call him. But did you
Yeah,
have any idea this was what was going to go on?
no, definitely didn't expect it to turn into this. I must say, Michael, you were pushing very, very hard. He called me, I think, Boxing Day and said, I bet you know other companies called you to wish you Merry Christmas. Then he called me New Year's Day and said, I bet you know other companies called you to wish Happy New Year. So definitely shout out to Michael on the recruitment strategy, that's for sure.
It was, the AI image generators were burning hot. I particularly loved the one that on the T-shirt, it looked very much like it said S Wonks. That was my
Yeah,
favorite. The AI
the
doesn't
contract being
always do
con-
contract upside
contract
down.
being upside down. That was a few people cottoned on to that. That's how my car normally is anyway. So
Wow, that's a
thanks
bit
to those
harsh.
guys.
Starring role in RC Racing TV news this week. Even they were interested in the Seckold signature
Yeah,
story and the upside down
was
contract.
yeah, wasn't expecting that, so I had a little chuckle to myself when I saw that come through.
We're not too far away from making the announcement, but before we do, I do just want to ask you about X-Ray. You've been with those guys for such a long time. You've had a great run. You've got great mates over there. Just tell me about some of the highlights of, the time with X-Ray and as a part of that squad. You've travelled with the boys. You've raced hard. Just, give us a couple of the highlights.
Oh, where do we start? I guess I remember first kind of year with them. We did all the Proline series at the time, which is now what the Raw Speed Australia series is. It's a series here in New South Wales, all control tyre. All the clubs get involved. Remember the first year we did that back in 2019. Some of those trips got a little bit wild, and various tracks, various conditions. Was lucky enough to take the win that year. Then we said a couple of other local Sydney boys joined in 2020, like Pete Cooper, Ben Cribben, those guys. And yeah, shenanigans just kind of escalated from there. It was always a fun trip away. Meeting, I guess, Kenley Brown, New Zealand. He came over for GT Worlds. So it was mechanic for Michael Stone at the time. The shy Kiwi walked up to us, and within about half a day, I think we were abusing each other all day, and it's not stopped since. It's 2.5 years now. So shout out to Kenley and Casey, and made the trip over there, stayed with them for ABC a couple of years ago. So yeah, there's been plenty of highlights, and most importantly, beating Mitchell Pratt in short course truck nationals.
I did ask Mitch to join us tonight, and he was too ashamed. Basically said that he
I said he was just kind of jealous of this one.
Wow, yeah. Have a look at
Mitch. Hey, just couldn't hold it.
What is the story with the Peter Seckold New Zealand fan club? I mean, you get all these messages coming across the ditch. We get all these messages. There's been memes flying across the ditch as well. What is the love story between you and the Kiwi boys?
Oh, I don't know. I think we just kind of.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, we I don't know. We just hit it off real well, I guess.
Yeah.
And they don't take themselves too seriously and just kind of fit in with them. And what goes around comes around. I've said my fair share to them. They've said their fair share to me, and we all get along very well. Most importantly was watching Dylan Toyer beat Logan at the Worlds. He was relentlessly mocked for a couple of months for that.
I feel like we should have a little look at a couple of before we are getting very close now, folks. I know that this is important, but we just want to share a couple of the memes that have floated around and a couple that have come from the Kiwi brethren. Going to run through a couple here, mate. You tell me your favourites. We'll see if we can. How about this one? Coney, the new driver for Coney, Peter Seckold. Welcome to the team. How close is this to the truth?
Yeah, I sent that one to Chris Mitchell. Told him I'm coming for his job. All he could do was laugh. So I don't know if he's taking it seriously or not. But Chris, if you're watching, you gotta take it seriously, man. I'm coming for you.
There's a couple others here. This is the lovely creation. Of course, we've seen this pop up on your Facebook page today.
Yeah.
Tell me about the T-shirt. Have you actually got this T-shirt? Are you wearing this T-shirt? Or is
No, definitely not wearing that T-shirt. A little bit short notice to get one made. But the mind of Tony Firth. I know Chris Stanley had his own version that was a little bit more not safe for work. So
yeah, I can't remember if I've got that lined up in this queue. So we'll see whether we see it or not. What else have we got here?
Yes, there it is.
That's the one. Tell me about this. This just not quite a meme, but this I think purports to be your first ever race car or your first RC car. What is this?
Yeah, that was. It's an old Tamiya ripoff, really. It's a cheap Chinese version of a Tamiya TL01, a little monster truck. I think the first time I drove it straight into the side of a swing set or a trampoline and busted it. And it was that afternoon that Dad taught me how to work on a car.
If you break it, you got to fix it.
Exactly.
What else have we got? What is the story here? Who are these two larrikins?
I don't recognise myself, but Matt looks kind of the same.
Lock down your Facebook page, mate. You got to lock it down.
Apparently so. I didn't think I had anything on there that was could be used against me, but apparently I do. That's got to be 10, 12 years ago now.
It's a while back. It is a while back. It's one of your early race cars, maybe, I'm guessing here?
Yeah, it was first dabble in the 10 scale, running at Southern Highlands, off-road RC car club, just south of Sydney. Yep. It was back when the track was actually dirt. Not a lot of people remember that.
Yeah.
It was, that used to be grass, and then just after a few years of running on it, it just ended up being lots of dirt with lots of holes.
Matt's chiming in, telling us it was your 13th birthday, that photo.
There you go. So nearly 14 years ago now.
Oh, missed it. Skipped over it. Yep, there we go. I think there are a couple of other memes here from, these ones might have come across the ditch from Logan Toyer.
Logan is pretty good with making a meme, especially when it's to do with hot chips. He's been pretty relentless with them.
Big thanks to Red RC for that photo and the camera of Mr. Tate Firth. He does go hard on the chips, doesn't he?
Anyway, that one was from an on-road race meeting, me contemplating why I'm at an on-road race meeting. And Logan's perfectly captured the mood with the hot chips and fish there. So
okay, we might come back to. We'll talk a little bit later about where you're going and what you're going to be doing in terms of the new sponsor, mate. I feel like maybe the time has come. We've been carrying on with this nonsense for a quarter of an hour now. We've got hundreds of people all over Australia and New Zealand. We've had a comment from Scotland in the chat as well. Everyone, not just in Australia, but across the whole world wants to know. Before we get to that, one last question from the chat. Feel free to throw questions in the chat, folks. Your comments, your feedback, your advice for Peter, especially. If anyone's got any good advice, we'll bring those through. What is the story with the hot chips? That's what Tony Firth wants to know.
Yeah, so the hot chip story kind of goes a fair way. So I have the nickname Seagull, which was just someone mishearing the pronunciation of my last name. There's nothing exciting or special about it. Unfortunately, thanks to Ben Darley, he heard that one, and unfortunately, it's fortunately, I suppose, probably not the worst nickname you could ever have. That stuck, and I think that's literally how the Kiwis know me. They don't know me as Peter; they know me as Seagull. So, the hot chips thing kind of just goes hand in hand.
I have no idea what this question is about. Yes, I do. I feel like this was one of those memes that we didn't actually get around to showing. What else have we got? A question from Lee Bagley. Can you FaceTime him afterwards with some engine tuning tips?
I'm not sure I'm ready to FaceTime him after this. We'll see. See how brave I am.
Fair. We've got a couple of Instinct RC. Maybe you're dropping a hint here about where you're going. Maybe going S-Works. We've got Joe Cathy all the way from the US of A. Great to have you on board, Joe, for a little bit of fun tonight. What time is it in the US? It must be 3 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing? Go to bed. He thinks you're going AE.
There's
Couple of
definitely a
other
couple
bits
of
and
people that
pieces.
know where I'm going, so I'll won't say anything just yet.
All right, let's do it. Why are you wearing a jacket? Stand up and show me what's on the front of that jacket.
Oh, in front of my
Nothing.
jacket, just my old work
Just
jumper.
old work
Shout
jumper.
to CPS and Den Air. Yeah,
Are
nothing special
you
going on there.
ready to share the story? Are you
I
ready to
guess I
tell
guess
the
it's time.
world
We've antagonised people for long enough.
what is the story, Peter Seckold?
So,
He's got the shirt on.
yeah, got
Oh,
the shirt
there
on
it
underneath.
is. Team Associated is officially the winner of this international wrestle for Peter Seckold's signature. It's been going on for the last 6 weeks, and there it is. You look good in that shirt. We gone from the midnight blue to the black. Team
Yeah,
Associated. All
brings
right,
out the
mate.
blue
Tell
in
me the
my eyes.
story.
I've been told.
Is this the story? You've signed with Team Associated?
Yeah, that's it. Signed with Associated as of I think it's Tuesday morning. So yeah, not much else to kind of say about that. It's been a long process. I spent a lot of time at the track with Donnelly's and Lee Bagioli for 8 scale. He lent me his car for a couple of days and did plenty of testing. Very, very, very impressed with how all that all went.
Yeah.
So yeah,
There's a bit of excitement in the chat. We've got Mick Woolley, woohoo, we are AE. Kyle Chason's jumped in. Kyle, I don't know if Kyle's still in Japan or if he's back in the US, where
few
Kyle is at
US
the moment.
guys tuning in.
Yeah, well, this is big news, mate. Like, I'm not kidding you. It's not only
Yeah,
everyone in
it's
Australia that
worldwide.
wants to know. So tell me about AE. What was it that that kind of drew you into saying this is the way for me?
Definitely the local support. Obviously, Model Engines is the distributor here. They're only about 45 minutes south of where I am. We've got the team, Lockie Donnelly, was Jared Ment up until recently, and Ben Panic for 8 scale, both fantastic resources. They've been super helpful.
Yeah.
All of them, I've had the opportunity to drive their cars at various points. Been nothing but super helpful for
Yeah.
last couple of weeks. Me asking questions. I think they're probably sick of me messaging them. So
Fair. What is the plan? Is this an 8th and a 10th? What does the Peter Seckold 2026 schedule look like? How are you going to divide your time? What's the story?
yeah, it'll be kind of a bit of a mix of 8th and 10th. I think more focusing on a little bit more 8 scale this year with the Worlds. Obviously, plan on going to the Worlds at this point. Definitely put my name down to go. I'm keen to go. Got the resources too. But yeah, other than that, looking at the Asian Buggy Champs, going to be in New Zealand in a couple of weeks. Malaysia is looking likely. Obviously, Australia. The World, state titles, nationals in Canberra as well. So it's going to be a very, very busy start to the year.
Big year. Are you looking forward to getting back to New Zealand? You were there the first year that. By the way,
Yes.
Blair Wallace winning money off your decision. I must admit, I had not checked the betting situation or the odds. Michael Snedden has just flipped the table. We'll see what meme comes out from Michael Snedden later on tonight. Maybe that's
He's
not one
promised me that his AI days are not over, so we'll see what happens.
Really important question here from Lee. If the Worlds is on the agenda for you, does your pitman get a trip as well?
Oh, we'll have to wait and see, I suppose. He's got to prove himself.
What did I ask you? Oh, New Zealand. Yeah. So you're on the entry list for ABC Round 1. We're in Counties RC at the end of February. You were there 2 years ago, I think. I don't think you were there last year.
2024. No, I didn't go last year. 10 scale Worlds was last year's focus. So
yep.
Now back into swing of 8 scale.
What are you looking forward to about getting back to counties, apart from catching up with your fan club over there?
Yeah, catching up with the Seagull fan club. That's always good fun. But yeah, just enjoy the rough natural dirt on the track. It was an enjoyable time when we were there a couple of years ago. It was something we don't quite get that often over here now, especially where I am. We got Maitland, which is oiled. We've got Canberra, which is usually very, very groomed. It's always gripped up. Orange, which is oiled. Bateman's Bay, which is oiled. It's a lot of artificial surfaces in a way. So looking forward to getting on a real off-road track again.
At risk of getting slightly serious for a moment, what is the process for dialing in new rides on all those different kinds of surfaces? You got, whole new cars that maybe work a bit differently, and you've just rattled off a whole bunch of very different kinds of racetracks. How do you dial into that?
That'll be a bit of reliance on, I said, the teammates to start with.
Yeah.
So I've had discussions with all of them. I've got some base setups to kind of start with, got some option parts to look at as well, and I said it'll just be kind of working out exactly what I need from the car, because everyone needs something a little bit different. But yeah, just be a bit of a learning process. Hopefully not too slow, but we'll get there eventually.
I mean, I assume within a couple of months you'll be providing the setups to the rest of the team, not the other way around. So, Lachlan Donnelly, for example, just be waiting for you to give him the
Yeah, he's
latest
gonna
fast setup. Is that?
come knocking on my door. He's gonna be messaging
Yeah,
me
yeah.
midnight trying to work out why I was so much faster than he was. All that sort of stuff.
There'll be a queue at your pit table, right? That's what we're
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
expecting. Yeah.
Just next to the autograph queue is what I've been told.
There's two different queues. One's for setup advice, one's for autographs. I like it.
Yeah.
I think that could work. Yeah, good. One of the questions I wanted to ask you, AE have also famously in the last 12 months released a new touring car. Are we likely to see Mr. P Seckold getting on the blacktop at any point?
I don't know that I have much of an option, to be honest. I was smack talking Frank Reno at Castle Hill On Road the other week, so I kind of have to live up to that now. Said, if the company I end up with has a touring car, I guess I have no excuse. So I guess, that's kind of that settled. At some point, I'll probably end up with one.
And what about vintage? A whole bunch of vintage 10 scale options there. Are we going to see you at the Vintage Bash this year, or
to be honest, I don't know that I'm old enough for vintage. I'd bring the average age down way too much.
Settle down. Now, folks, of course, the driver's side is one side of the story, and we've heard a little bit from Peter. We'll hear a little bit more a bit later. But we couldn't let this moment, this incredibly important signing, go past without talking to the man who ultimately won the battle for the signature. So we're going to welcome Team Associated's Australian team manager, Andrew Salvaggi, to the chat. Andrew, I mean, congratulations. You must be so thrilled with this moment and this signature. Congrats.
I kind of know what it's like to win an Academy Award now. Somehow it's... I was waiting for the announcement, and I already knew which way it was going.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to you. Thanks for joining us. You won a world championship a couple of months ago. This somehow feels bigger to me than that world championship win. Just talk me through, what the last couple of months have been like for you. Sleepless nights, I guess. Waiting to hear, which way he was going to go.
Yeah, I first spoke to Peter a few months ago, and he kind of just left me hanging, going, I'll make my decision sometime soon. It's just been sitting on the edge of my seat for the last few months, to be honest, and I'm glad it's over now. I can finally get some sleep.
Slightly more seriously, why Peter? Like, what, it is cool that Peter's been added to the team. What do you think he brings? You got a great squad. You got some fantastic people with you. What does, apart from the obvious good looks, what does this man bring to the whole scene for you guys?
More than anything, it's we try and get people in the team that are not just good on track, but good away from the track. They're personable. They can have a conversation. They like having a chat, things like that. So you think of the people that are high in your EQ side of things, and so Pete definitely brings that. Not only is he's a national champion in short course, Mitch, and then also he's also in A finals at nationals in buggy, and does 1/8 scale, so has the chops on the track and has the chops off the track. So I think a lot of people were really interested into which way Pete was going, and that kind of says a lot into why we get someone like Pete on board, is because we're all about the people. When someone comes up to someone and says, "Hey, I need some help with this," you don't want to, "Hey, I'm a pro racer, don't talk to me," vibe. You actually want to, "Hey, here, give me a car, I'll help you out," type thing. So that's first and foremost the big thing for us. That's kind of how I like to operate and how the team has been over the last little while.
Really important question here from Tony Firth. I mean, that you'll be reluctant to go into too much detail about the contract. I'm sure it's 6 or 7 figures, but were hot chips involved in as a part of the terms? It's a good question. I think the people want to know.
It's the first contract where I've actually had a request for hot chips involved, and specifically around the salt as well. Chicken salt was a big thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, we'll do anything. It's not just product. It's food as well if it needs to be in there.
All right. As soon as you produce chocolate milk, I'm in. I'm coming to AE. We can do a deal, mate. I do just want to get a little bit serious for a moment. Just Andrew, give us a bit of a sense of what the team looks like for 2026. There's been some changes. Well established, a couple of people have moved on from the team, but where are you at in terms of team associated for 2026 down under?
Yeah, it's probably fairly well known that all teams we're building up to the thing that was the World Championships last year. We put quite a lot of time and quite a lot of effort into that bid and making sure that we're well prepared, not just locally but as an international team. And I think we've hit like how we did with the 8 scale worlds, we've hit that, kind of everyone's come down after that. And a lot of people, rightfully so, are searching for that what's next. So naturally, we had a few people move on from the team. You mentioned earlier, Jared Ment has moved on. We also, well documented, Chris 30 has decided to make a change. And yeah, so we've had quite a few people, long-standing people within the team, move on, and what that can kind of feel a little bit like someone's leaving the family, but then you realise, we're all going to be at the same race meeting in a week's time. So whilst people move on, you never really leave. And so what this year looks like for us is really as a consolidation year and kind of finding our feet again for what are we really hunting for. And I think for a lot of the people this year will be the 8 scale worlds in the US, and kind of rezoning ourselves or refocusing our efforts onshore. We've got our nationals coming up in Victoria, which will be quite interesting. In off-road. We've also got the release of the on-road card that we're going to start getting behind as well. And yeah, so the focus for this year is really just kind of getting back to grassroots and getting back to, not thinking about the worlds that's going to be in Sydney. I think we've all kind of been focused on that for 2 years, really.
Yeah.
So
that's nice to take a breath. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 2 questions come out of that for me that, some of the things you just talked about there. Firstly, do we know where the Nationals is in Victoria yet? Has that been announced, or is that public?
It hasn't been announced yet, but by going off the, internal Victorian rotation, I believe it's Knox's turn.
Okay.
So that's the way it usually kind of goes. I think the last time Knox had it was the 2000 Nationals, and since then we've had one in Wodonga, Keilor. Well, we've almost had 2 in Keilor, and then also Mildura. So yeah, should be Knox.
Yeah. And the other question was about the touring car. We talked about that earlier. Peter's, gung ho. He's going to lead the national on-road team, obviously. Have you got any other kind of, on-road guys that can come in and provide support to Peter as he takes on the nationals up in Queensland later in the year?
Well, we do have a couple of the guys up in New South Wales that do moonlight as on-road races a little bit when they haven't got any off-road stuff going on. So the Donnellys have been running a little bit of on-road. So they're already in that scene a little bit. But yeah, one of my focuses this year is kind of growing our on-road team. We haven't had a car to compete with for the last 5 years, really. So yeah, we basically Associated head office gave everyone hey, we're releasing a car. You can, it's going to be there for a year and see how it goes. And then now we've kind of really got the word to say, hey, now let's start building an on-road presence and team. Whilst we acknowledge that everyone still had contracts with specific on-road companies.
Yeah.
And we're also running associated off-road vehicles, but now we're
Yeah.
getting to the point where we need to kind of homologate that and say, well, if you're running associated, you're running associated everything. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, my goal this year is to build an on-road team as well.
Yeah. Folks, wherever you are around the world, welcome to this special Friday night live Action RC podcast. We're with Peter Seckold, Andrew Salvaggi. Peter Seckold making the long-awaited announcement. He is on the move to Team Associated. Daniel Kearney, late to the show. I'm sorry, Dan. It is not Traxxas. That's what we were all hoping for, I know. But it is Team Associated, the other big T from the USA. We're just chatting quickly with Andrew. And Andrew, I did want to ask you as well, obviously Team Associated loves to win, but also loves to compete. And it just strikes me, again, if I can be serious for a moment, that, with some of these big shifts in particularly tent scale in Australia, over the last few years, it's been you guys and X-Ray really, going head to head pretty hard. As we go into 2026, there's kind of the Schumacher team are re-emerging. There's some people looking at S-Works. It just feels like we're up for some really interesting, different kinds of competition this year. What's the Team Associated kind of view of getting into that competitive landscape? How excited are you to see how things might be different this year?
I think that's the thing. We are a race team who likes to compete, and we thrive off that. You don't want to be the only race team turning up and fighting for world championships when you're the only manufacturer, right? It makes it a lot easier. But the thing that drives competition and drives development is competition. And if it's a world championships and you've got 10 associated cars in a 10 field A main, that's great, but it's gonna, people are gonna catch up to you very quickly. So, we quite often have seen that in the history. You have swings and roundabouts of you have one dominant manufacturer, and then you have a couple that kind of rise up to that, and then it's a 2 or 3-way battle. And so I think we're coming into that phase again where we're going to see some other teams kind of really throw their hat in the ring. And I think the catalyst for that was really the Worlds in Sydney, and people have a lot of engineering effort and time, and a lot smarter people than myself have gone into developing cars, and we're seeing the fruits of that now. And so a lot of people, a lot of race programs out there outside of the associated camp are a lot better than what they were 2 years ago. So for me, it's a welcome change, and to me, that's just a reason to get out of bed and get to the track more and develop. It's great winning all the time, but it's also good winning when you're competing against someone else or another brand.
The other thing that's just happened in the last 24 hours, and I can only assume that this is connected to the signing of Peter Seckold, is the release of the new two-wheel drive. I think it's the B7.1 Seckold edition. I think that was the official
comes with hot chips.
comes with hot chips. So it would. I have to ask you about that car. What are you excited about that's in it? What's kind of what's come out of maybe the Worlds, and what that's led to what's in that new car.
Yeah, well, the announcement of Pete joining is definitely aligned to the release of that car, or vice versa. You could argue which one came first, but no, the new car is a lot of learnings over the last 2 years. We had a large platform, kind of shift and change into the narrow pivot, long arm platform of the B7, and that's been quite successful. And we saw an evolution of that at the Worlds just gone by. And so the main things that I'd say that are a massive win for us is things like the updated rear arms, where you can flip the rear arms around and you've got the extra bone sweep. So that's something that we do here in Australia, is we run a shorter car or shorter wheelbase or more drive bone sweep. So that's a big win for us in the 7.1D edition. And then also the 3-gear transmission. What's old is new again, and we've just found through a lot of testing, whilst the 5-gear was really good in getting the weight forward and getting a really low CG, it had other things in there that can hinder performance around kind of connection to the drivetrain and friction and all that type of stuff. So the things that I think a lot of people really enjoy about the car is that flexibility of being able to run it in kind of a high grip with the arms flipped around the traditional way, and then run it in a low grip with the rear arms flipped the other way around. And then there's some subtle durability changes, like introducing the front hinge pin brace, like how we had on our older cars. So you're not snapping front bulkheads or things like that. So it's one of those iteration changes. It's a refinement of 2 years of development of the 7 platform.
And we assume that this is the Seckold signature paint scheme that we'll be seeing this year. That's why it's the box art. So that's, I mean, I'm not releasing any secrets there, am I? That I assume is what we all expect. Yeah.
Yeah. Peter doesn't know, but yes, that is his new paint scheme. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought there was some fine print I missed.
Look out, I've broken my own camera here. That's a relief to everyone. I don't know what's happened there. I'll try and fix that in a moment. I feel like we're not too far away from kind of putting an end to this shenanigan. So we'll go to the chat to see if there's any last kind of comments, any bits of advice for either. I mean, advice for Andrew on how to manage Seckold would probably be the most helpful thing we could get right now. So, folks, wherever you are, you've got a couple of minutes left to drop some advice for Andrew or for Peter, or your best wishes in the chat. I'm just going to try and fix my microphone. Pete, when do we first see you? What's your first big race? Tell me a little bit. Is it ABC in New Zealand? Is that the first big one? Have you got something in New South Wales before that?
Yeah, so first big 8-scale race will be the Raw Speed Series in Canberra. It'll be effectively Nat's warm-up. It's about 3 or 4 weeks before Nationals, I believe. They're going to have track rebuilt, ready to go, so we get to run on a fresh layout. Won't be able to obviously run whatever tyres we normally run. It's all controlled tyre. So that'll be probably the first big 8-scale race. And 10-scale, we got a New South Wales Racing League, which is our state series. That'll be Maitland, about a week before I go to New Zealand for ABC. So it'll be quite a busy start to the year. I think first 3 or 4 months, I have 3 to 4 races a month. So definitely going to get the money's worth out of it.
What's the race that you are most looking forward to in the first half of the year with these new rides and with the team?
Oh, it's going to be between Nationals and ABC. I said Nationals will be a little bit more serious. ABC got the Kiwi boys are a little bit more laid back. So I'm not sure exactly which one it is, but I've been promised at least one heavy night over in New Zealand. So we'll see how we go.
Saturday night? I mean, is that what they're going to try and do? Is drag you out into downtown? I mean, downtown Pukekohe gets pretty wild on a Saturday night.
I mean, it is Pukekohe, but probably the Sunday night. So it's because there's nothing on after that. I just got to get on a plane to come home on the Monday morning. So
I was going to say, if it's Saturday night, it's a trap. Don't do it.
Yeah. No, don't trust what Logan tells you.
Will you be in New Zealand, Andrew, just to keep an eye on your new signing and just to make sure that he's not getting mobbed by autograph hunters? And how do you bring him out into the public?
I hadn't booked flights yet, but I kind of feel like I need to be there, just more for Pete's safety than anything. But I won't be at New Zealand this year, but I will be at the ABC round in Australia, and obviously at the 8-scale nationals as well. Looking forward to being at some of the 8-scale events a little bit more this year. Traditionally, I go to pretty much all the 10-scale events, but with guys like Pete and Zach and Ben, all running, and we've obviously got Alex as well. I want to get to a few more of the 8-scale events and kind of, get the pitman gloves on and do some refuels and things like that as well.
Is this all about you gearing up for a trip to the Northern Hemisphere later in the year? Is that what's happening, Andrew?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I may be. Yes. There is a trip planned. I have been asked to go to one of the races in Taiwan in a few months' time as a warm up to see if I can get the job done. And if successful there, I'll more than likely be going to the Northern Hemisphere around September-ish time. I think there's a race going on around that time.
Just some small race going on.
Yeah.
I assume this is all about you developing the skills in order to be qualified to pit for Seckold. That's really what
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's it's got a high standard to beat. Lee is the best pit man around. Very, very good. So you got a high bar to set there.
And I can only hope. I'm, you know, I feel like it's almost worthy of like a training montage or something like that. You know, we're going to have to work out how I get ready for that. So
yeah.
Speaking of, there it is now.
Yeah, I don't think he's too happy about this news that you're gunning for his job. Anyway, you guys can sort that out. We're gonna wrap up in a second. Andrew, any kind of last thoughts from you? Thank you for it's been a bit of fun. We all know we're having a bit of fun. It is exciting times at the start of the year, a new season. Teams are shaking up. Any last thoughts from you, Andrew, as we get set for the season?
Well, I mean, I think first of all, thanks to everyone for the excitement around this, and I think everyone kind of, like I said, we had a little bit of a lull after the World, and I think now everyone's kind of got over that hangover, and yeah, it's exciting to see racing in Australia kind of picking back up again after a little bit of a break. So yeah, my reflection is, the racing scene's healthy. And yeah, I'm even more excited to get going again, and can't wait for Peter to join the crew, and basically start running our cars and working with the team up there. I know you'll be quite at home up there, mate. I know that a lot of the team that already know that you were joining are real excited to have you along. So, yeah, I think that's the thing for me is people are genuinely keen to get back to the track and get out there. So that's kind of my reflection. This close after Christmas and New Year's is when's the first event?
It's a big start to the year, right? Nationals for 8 scale. You got the invite race in Keilor for 10 scale. I feel like I just need to correct one thing you said there. You did talk about Pete running with the team up there in Sydney, New South Wales. I think you meant to say leading the team up.
Leading the team.
Just wanted to correct that little misspeak.
Yeah.
So
you speak so well.
Chad's been coming to me for setup help for years, so it's time that I can actually tell him what to do with his car now. So
you guys were meeting
messages
out
open,
in the
Chad,
forest
when
with
you
the
need.
worlds. Pete, back to you. I mean, I just feel like there must be some final words to your millions. There's millions of adoring fans. It's been so much like the kind of fight between Alpine and McLaren over Oscar Piastri, but the stakes are much higher here. And I wonder if there's some final words from you to all the fans, to the teams. Maybe there's a message of commiserations to the 7 teams, I think it was, that didn't get your signature. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I guess thanks to the people that I've spoken to about running for various brands. I know I've had a couple of phone calls this week to say yes or no. Obviously, Andrew's the only one that got the yes, but I appreciate everyone's help. All the people have offered me to drive their cars, let me drive their cars. I said, from AE guys, Ben Panic kind of started the whole thing, gave me a drive his car. Can't even remember when that was. And then Lee gave me his car for a whole couple of days to test and run. The Donnellys have been super helpful. I've driven Lockie's car a couple of times after various events. And obviously Andrew for making this all happen. It's been a ride. Thanks to Michael Snedden for making it nice and enjoyable the last couple of weeks. I didn't expect it to take such a wild turn when he posted that first one. It just kind of got out of hand from there. I told him that last one that he posted, he should probably wait a couple of days just to kind of spread it out a little bit more, not oversaturate everyone. And I'm glad it worked out the way it did.
I feel like we all owe Michael Snedden a kind of a round of applause for making some fun within the community over the Christmas period. There's not much happening on track, but it's been a really fun story to stay in touch with. So well done, Michael Snedden. Well done, Andrew Salvaggi and Team Associated, winning the battle to sign Peter Seckold. I feel like that's probably enough. 45 minutes, a special announcement, folks, wherever you've been around the world watching us. Thanks for joining us. Maybe we'll try and do this again over the next couple of weeks, talk to some of the other not quite as big signings that have happened around the country. For now, though, we, of course, wait with bated breath to see that buggy get on track over in New Zealand and then at the Nationals and then wherever else the world takes you. And don't forget, on-road races, Seckold and Team Associated are coming for you. Gentlemen, thank you. Good night. Have the rest of the night off. I don't even know what time it is in Sydney. I don't know why you guys don't have a normal clock, but thanks for joining me.
You just can't keep up with us, Scotty.
Yeah.
That is absolutely true. Yeah. And Andrew, once you do get that chocolate milk, let me know. We can talk turkey and see if there's a contract in there for me, even at my old age. Thank you, mate. Thanks for joining us.
Get you away from Schumacher, isn't it?
Hey, it's a long history, but as we've seen tonight, long histories are made to be broken. That's exactly what the never mind. Forget it. Thank you both. I feel like we'll say goodnight. Folks, wherever you are around the world, thanks for having some fun with us. Keep sending those messages through the chat and chat directly to Peter for all of the Team Associated setup information you need. He'll be ready by tomorrow to give you the setup for any track in Australia or New Zealand. Good night. See you guys.
Thanks all.
So yeah, thank you.